What's going on, team? I hope you have had a great weekend so far. I know I have. I've been getting very excited and prepared for this 30-day challenge. If you don't know what I mean, go ahead and check the video here or in the description to get updated and informed on what's to come. Basically, I want to see how much of a transformation we can do in these 30 days, staying as strict and planned out as possible. So I did mention in that video that before we get started, I want to go over my workout outline as well as my meal plan so you guys can see exactly what I'm gonna be following for these 30 days, as well as some insight as to the thought process behind how I'm structuring out, these workouts and meal plans. Now, you kind of have noticed that I said the workout outline. I'm not going to go into depth as far as every single exercise that I'm doing. The reason behind that is because that could actually change throughout. So I will always have this plan to follow, this structure, and I'm just going to be kind of adapting my exercises to this. This way, again, I can always make some modifications or change things up as I see fit, and you can as well at home. But again, I'll always have this plan and a structure to follow, and I'm just making those kind of adjustments as I see fit. So with all that said, let's just jump right into this exercise and workout routine here. So as soon as we leave, or as soon as we go into the gym to as soon as we leave, everything's gonna be planned out. The first thing that we're gonna do as soon as we walk in is a warm up. So this is something that I typically would neglect along with a cool down. I would just kind of jump right into my workout and then just leave as soon as I'm done without really, taking the time to properly warm up or cool down, stretch and all that stuff. So in these 30 days, I want to focus on really doing it all. So that means, of course, warming up with some dynamic stretches. Now, I did do a full video as far as stretching before and after the workout, so go ahead and check that out. But these dynamic stretches, the goal is to get warmed up and ready for the workout that we're about to do. It'll often mimic some of the exercises that we will have in the actual workout to, again, get your body ready for what's to come. Now, with these stretches, you can always change it up for what might be feeling tight or whatever you want to stretch out a little bit more for yourself. For me, typically it's my hips or even like my hamstrings, that kind of thing, just because that's what, for my body is always tight and needs to be stretched out. So, of course, you can always adapt this to your own personal preference. Next thing after we do those stretches is going to be activations. So the activations are going to be using bands or lighter weights to get the weaker muscles or less active muscles ready and also warmed up for this exercise. Alrighty, let's just jump right into the actual meat and potatoes of this workout here. So there's gonna be a total of 6 exercises and then 2 or 3 extra kind of exercises at the end. I'll explain what those are later on, but let's focus on these first 6. So they're gonna be broken down into basically like 3 different sections of these 6, so 2, 2, and 2. The first 2, so exercise number 1 is going to be a heavy compound exercise. Now, the goal of this first exercise is to really get a lot of strength work in, kind of go a little bit for that heavier weight, and incorporating that compound exercise. So think of like a bench press or a deadlift or even a squat. That's what we're gonna start this out on. The exercise number 2, like I said, is basically the same thing. It's also going to be a compound exercise. So we're gonna tone the weight down just a little bit. So for instance, if I was doing a bench press before, I'm gonna tone the weight down from that bench press and incorporate an incline bench. So I'm still doing a bench press, but it's going to be at that different angle and a little bit less weight. So exercise number 3 and 4 are going to be focusing on the contraction and control. So again, we'll kind of stick with this example of the bench press and the kind of upper body workout here that we're creating as we go through this, but I would take out the barbell and go into some dumbbells. So really focusing on that contraction, because now I have kind of the free range of motion of both hands moving independently as opposed to being, stuck together with that bar. I can really get, again, a little bit more of a contraction, a little bit more range of motion out of that exercise. Same thing for exercise number 4. So these both are going to be kind of focusing, 3 and 4 are going to be focusing on the kind of more range of motion, getting a little bit more control and a little bit higher rep range for those exercises. Exercise number 5 and 6, again, is the kind of last little section to these where I'm going to get as much range of motion as I can with a little bit of a lighter weight. You'll kind of have noticed that I've worked from heavy all the way down to light. So the point here for these last 2, 5 and 6, is to be getting some range of motion, of course, with some lighter weight and burning out the muscles. So we're getting as much blood into the muscle, really exhausting them and finishing out this workout strong. So like I said, there's gonna be a couple extra exercises at the end. This is reserved for doing some abs or some calves or a little bit of cardio at the end. Think about like 15 minutes where you're running through either kind of a cycle of these, or again, just kind of hitting a little bit of each to always kind of incorporate that at the end. Now, before we leave, we're almost done here. We're gonna finish out with some static stretches. So static stretches, again, if you refer to that video that you saw before, is going to be a stretch and hold. So this is gonna slow things down, kind of cool us down, and kind of relax our muscles at the end of the workout. So we ensure that we're leaving the gym nice and loose, nice and ready to recover for the night. So that's the quick little outline. As you can see here, you can follow along and kind of mix and match again for your own personal goals, but I will always be following this outline and just changing up the exercises as I see fit, as modifications, I want to try out, whatever it is. The point is to stay flexible with it, but to always have this plan to follow. Now, with the exercises and the workout outline out of the way, I will jump into a quick little breakdown of my nutrition. So what I'm gonna be doing is following a roughly 3,000 calorie diet. So it's gonna be about 250 to 275 grams of carbohydrates. It's gonna be about 200 grams of protein and about 100 grams of fat per day. Now I'm saying about because, I'm not gonna be counting every single macronutrient. I'm gonna get really close, but there might be, a little variance, give or take 100 calories here and there, but that's roughly kind of the breakdown that I'm gonna be following along throughout this 30 days. I will say that you've probably noticed that I haven't really gone over into any specific exercises other than, those bench press examples that I mentioned before, or, meals that I'm actually gonna be eating, because what I want to do is update you every single day with the exercise that I do and the exercises that I've put into this outline, as well as the meals and kind of rough nutrition that I've had for the day as well. Like I said, I wanted to hopefully ambitiously aim for about a video per day where again I go into the detail for that day, how I felt, maybe some tips or tricks that I thought about throughout the day, or even some modifications or changes that I wanna incorporate. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, feel free to take these with a little bit of some flexibility. You can always change up, again, to what might be more specific for your personal goals for these 30 days. But with all that said, I'm super excited to get started. Feel free to drop some comments down below if you want me to go even more in depth into any one of these specific parts. I will definitely be happy to do so. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out. And of course, be sure to subscribe with those notifications on so you are updated whenever I post these videos. Again, aiming for every single day for the next 30 days, starting tomorrow, where I'll be updating you guys, showing you exactly what I did for the day, workout, nutrition, the whole 9 yards. So again, you guys can follow along at home. I'm super excited. I know there's so much progress to be made. I've definitely fallen off a little bit in this quarantine. Maybe you guys have as well. But with all that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.